One, wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Don't give a fuck what you are doing in your life, cause I'm too busy doing what the fuck I'm doing in my life.
Three places that you can stay for absolutely free. 3 of them. You ain't got to pay a doggone thing. Hear me. Understand that you can stay out my face for free. You can stay out my business for free. And you can stay out my way for free. Those things won't cost you a doggone thing. 3 places you can stay for absolutely free. Thank you.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Happy Manic Monday to all you crazy folks out there on YouTube and Facebook. I think we're streaming. Yes, we're streaming on Facebook too. So good morning, Facebook. I hope you guys are doing very good. Happy Monday. I'm struggling, but we're up, right? I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. Yes. 4 o'clock is right. 4 a.m. It sucks getting up that early, but I went to bed early. I have to be honest. Good morning. We got it. I'm the only one up. Jennifer says. Jennifer, you're not the only one up. You're not. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of people. We've already got almost 250 people in the chat right now. If you want to come over here, we're on YouTube. Just click the link, come on over to YouTube, and you can talk to everybody in the chat. That's what I love about YouTube. You come over here, you can chat with people. Good morning, Patricia Miller. Jennifer B., nice to see you. Maria, light you up. Sonia, nice to see you, Sonia. She's the one that makes all of our beautiful shirts. If you guys like a shirt or you guys want a custom shirt for Christmas, reach out to Sonia. Sonia, put your link in here. I know Christmas time is coming. People may be wanting some custom-made shirts for Christmas. Nice to see you, Connie Branch. Nice to see you. I hope everything's going well in your world. Crusoe, good morning. Let's see what it's. Good morning, Betty, mod chat. Lurkers, please sign the guest book with a thumbs up on your way in. God bless you. That's cute. I love it. That's cute. I love coffee. So do I. Good morning, bitches. A courtesy cup from our beloved Karen. Out there in the ether. If she's out there, good morning, Karen. If not, and you're watching on the replay, still drinking. Love the backpack, by the way. Love the backpack. I've got to load it up because this one here, I'm going to take this one here with me on the next trip. But after that, I'm converting to the one that you got me. I like that. That's pretty neat. Nice and heavy duty stuff. Love it. Let's see. Mama P.I. Nice to see you. Do some digging. Do some digging. I'm just joking. You probably already are. Robin, good morning. Nice to see you listening from work. I'm talking from work. And for the mods that are in here this morning so far, if it does start getting a little too intense, we're good right now because we're starting earlier than we've started in 6 months today. So long story short, if it starts getting too overwhelming, we start getting way too many people, just try to get my attention and I'll get it on slow-mo if it needs to, if I need to slow the chat down. Some stuff was coming out, that I didn't realize. I did, many of you guys know I do follow Ryan Upchurch. And as many of you know, I follow Dolly Vision. I didn't realize there was another creator on here by the name of Big Smo, I think is what his name is. We're going to be pulling that up, and he's another creator. He's got a large following and stuff like that. And there's stuff going on in his world right now with his daughter. His daughter's been missing. I don't know if she's been found as of yesterday afternoon. She had not been found, and we want to definitely help one of our own here on this platform. I, again, don't know him. I don't follow him. But if there's anything that we can do for another creator, especially one that's part of, the Creek Squad and family. We definitely want to, support and get that out as much as possible. So, from what I heard, it sounds like Dolly may actually be going that direction to help if needed. So again, just a big shout out. We care about our own here. And one of our own is in need of some help. So I'm going to be pulling that up a little bit in just a little bit. And again, I apologize. It's going to be just coming in here, but it is a new case. And again, it is somebody that is a creator here on YouTube that is now, being faced with a lot of stuff. I'll give you a little bit of background on his daughter. Apparently his daughter was living, in a roommate type of situation, was moving back home that specific day. They've got her at the Taco Bell around her area, and she never made it back. And she hasn't been heard or seen from since. So, and her vehicle, which is a Pathfinder, a 2002 Nissan Pathfinder. It's kind of a champagne silver, is also missing with her. It's been days. So very concerning. And we're going to be, starting the show off kind of talking about that here in just a few moments. So good morning, Jara, D, Dana, Rebecca, La Bamba, just an old lady, Patricia Miller. Nice to see you, Freckles, Cool Gamer, Rick's Clicks. I forgot to call you yesterday. Shit. Sorry, Rick. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and you'll get it later today into tomorrow. You'll get it. Good morning, Betty and Coffee Club. Good morning. Good morning. It's been a rough night. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rick. Maddie Bush, Peyton, nice to see you guys. Don't forget to like as you guys are coming in. If you have not already, please go out there and give us a thumbs up. It is free to say thank you. Mystified for Life. Good morning, Mike. I've seen Mike. I've seen Mike Stevens in here quite a bit. I just haven't had a chance to say hi. So, hey, Mike, how you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. We got Freckles, Stacy B, Karen Davis. Nice to see you. Sepsis Kills. Sheila, Rachel. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Smokin' Jay. I love that. Smokin' Jay. Takes me a while. Some of these creative names I have to. It's almost like, what was that game that you play that I can't remember? And it's like Joe King, and it's like, oh, joking, ha ha ha, right? Sometimes I feel like that on here. It's just very creative. Sugar Plum, nice to see you. Oh Lord. Bell, hey, Texas Angel, Robert's Girl, Carla, nice to see you guys. Let me see if I haven't said anything. It's a smaller chat this morning. We got some. Did I say good morning to you, Vape King? If I haven't, good morning. Mama of 5, Heather. I'm the only one up. Okay. Riddler. Blondie UK. DB. Nice to see you. Angie. Southern Grammy Wolf. You were up pretty late last night. I could have heard. Didn't I hear you call in? I might be mistaken. I watched so many things, but I could have sworn I heard you calling in at like freaking early. Like, do you sleep? Patricia says it's 3 a.m. there. God bless you. God bless you. Amanda, nice to see you. Tina K, nice to see you. I just folded some clothes. I think you're the one that did the shirts. If you are, thank you. Colleen, Courtney, Unfiltered Kelly. Good morning, Natalie. Miss Potty Mouth. Me too. It's so funny because I was trying to find some intros coming in this morning, so I'm listening. I gotta play this for you. I swear. I'm like, what the heck's going on, right? So I'm like, okay, let me go over here and let's listen. And then I listened to this. I about busted out laughing. So
don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Don't give a fuck. Don't.
I gotta stop. So I'm looking through this stuff, and I'm like, okay. And so you when you're on TikTok on your computer, you have to toggle up and down with your up and down cursor, on the laptop. And I'm going through it. I'm like, nah, that doesn't sound right. Now go to the next one. I'm like, it's the same person. So I go back and I go forward. I go back. I started cracking up here. So I thought if I start to crack up, even though I don't like using that language on the show, but if I start cracking up, I figured it might be funny. Lessons for today. Don't give up. Bleep. Right? Don't give a bleep. So everybody else that I didn't get to, Frog, I see you here. M. Speece. Who else? Brandy, nice to see you. Amy M. Lady 7 Up, nice to see you. Chi Chi. And all the other ones that I have not got to. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty channel and the Bullhorn Betty show. I want to find that big Smo. That's what I need to find, Big Smo, because This is the one that he's got a daughter that, again, went missing. And sorry, guys. Just a second. Okay, here's some 18 hours ago. So we're just going to watch some stuff. So give me just a second. We're going to just advocate here. She was found. Oh, they found her. She was good. What's this here? Okay, so I'm late to the party then. Here it is.
So we're back on the.
Now, are we sure that she's been found? Because so far, I'm looking on here and nobody has said anything about her being found on TikTok or other. Let me just look up here. Okay, so websleuths.com. This is 19 hours ago. Yes, Smo did another video afterwards. His Facebook said she was found. Okay, good. Well, that's good. I'm glad we don't have a major issue here because, again, it was very concerning with Big Smo because I don't know him and I didn't realize his daughter was missing. And anytime anybody in the YouTube community goes missing, I'm sorry, but we're gonna help as much as possible, whether we like the person or not. I don't know this person, so it's not like I don't like him or do like him. I've never heard of him until now. Everybody's like, "What? You've never heard of him?" I'm like, "No, he's been on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm becoming a YouTuber, folks. Like I was a TikToker. I don't do YouTube." Okay, I do YouTube. Okay, I do it. So I just want to let you guys know, and of course it's so funny because I do a lot of things strategically. I really do. I do a lot of things strategically, as many of you guys know. And one of the things that I do is show how ridiculous some of these creators are. Their hate is absolutely insane. It really is. At the end of the day, I have been explaining the laws on press, the constitutional rights of press, the freedom of press, all these other things. They come out forever, ever, amen, saying, "Oh, she's not this, she's not that." It's like, yes, I am. And I even went as far as to say, everybody pretty much that covers true crime or any type of news is considered press. When you reach out and get paperwork and you bring it to an audience, that you're doing work as press and media. So, I was with another company for the simple, aspect that there was a lot of people with that particular company and everything like that. Well, since then, I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. And I don't need to pay these fees because what we do here is exactly that. So I decided to go ahead and roll out. And many of you guys know we did. We rolled out this. So it's so funny because all the haters are coming out designing their own press badges, which look like shit, by the way. But it's so funny because it's like, oh, well, I can do that. Yeah, you can. That's what I've been saying the whole time, you dummies. You dum-dums. That's exactly what I've been saying this entire time. So now that you get it, all that stuff you were talking for the last year, we just showed you, and now you yourself have finally acknowledged it. Again, going back to these people don't give their audience the truth. They lie about everything. So anyways, and guess who else is aboard the team? That is right. Olivia Vitale is a part, Chronicles of Olivia, for the purposes of business. When we go places, we'll be part of the Bullhorn Betty team. I'm changing hers from video journalist, though, to executive producer, because that's pretty much what she is. But at the end of the day, and we're going to be rolling out some other stuff. Many of you guys know that have been following me for any length of time. I purchased the bullhornbetty.com website. And I'm going to be building that over the next year. So in 2023, the website is going to be rolling out, and that's going to be another place that you can submit. Because everybody, what makes this whole YouTube thing wonderful is the fact we can get information out very, very quickly. And so this will be a place, a hub where you can actually submit cases to me. Like if for any reason somebody goes missing and you want it featured on the Bullhorn Betty channel or show, you'll have a place on the website to submit those cases and any relevant information. And if you know the family, yada, 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 you know, getting in contact and things of that nature. We've also got some other things that we'll be rolling out in 2023 for the Bullhorn Betty channel and the Bullhorn Betty brand. That I'm not going to really be talking about, but it's going to be nice, and it's going to be something that I think a lot of the audience can get involved in as well. So it'll be kind of cool. It's going to be cool. I promise you, you guys will not be disappointed. 2023 is going to be a big year for the Bullhorn Betty channel, for me, for Chronicles of Olivia, for our whole team of at Heels in the Air or Heels on the Ground. On the ground. Of course, naturally, Vicky Pate would be on my mind this morning. But anyways, I just want to say that there's going to be a lot of things coming out and rolling out here in the near future, in addition to all the other stuff that we're going to be doing, to make what we do here better and less dramatic and less crazy. So we got a lot of stuff going on. But we got a full year under our belt here on YouTube. We've got a full solid year. We did not disappoint our first year. And that was when we didn't know what the hell we were doing, right? We had no clue what we were doing. We had no clue what direction we were going. We knew we wanted to cover true crime. We knew we wanted to go out and help people. We knew we wanted to do all these things. But, we didn't know necessarily the best way to do it. Well, now we tried a few things and have, basically have a, procedures book now, right? We know exactly what we're doing. We know exactly when we get a case, what we need to be pooling, what we need to have, what we need to do, all those things. When we're going out in the field, we strategize. We know what tools to use on which case and how to get, the information that we need to get. So it's been quite a learning process and learning experience over this last year. And as we roll into 2023, we got even bigger and better things. We're more, we collaborate more with other creators that have, the same passion and desires as we do. And that's what brings us to Chronicles of Olivia, Marissa, Molly Go Lightly, Justice for All, Dolly Vision, JLR, Mallory with the House of Williams. We do a lot. We do a lot of talking behind the scenes, working together, things of that nature. And so it's been an experience that I can't express. But we still continue to move forward despite a lot of adversity. And it's not really a lot. It's a few bad apples that are causing havoc to a lot of creators. And we've got one in the chat, as you guys can see. And just to let you know, I've got the whole chat replay off. I don't even play it anymore. I don't. So once these people come off, nobody will see what they're saying in the chat. Nobody. So they just waste a lot of time. And I want to make sure that they are going to be paying a heavy cost. And that's part of the stuff that's going to be in 2023. So we're not going to sit down. We're not going to shut up. We're going to continue to do whatever the hell we want to do, whenever we want to do it, because I don't have to ask a doggone person permission. I just don't. Good morning, Justice. Nice to see you. And neither does anybody else. Do you think Chris McDonough is asking people, can I go here? Can I? Of course not. No, who does that? This is America. We're not a third world country. And I don't answer to the likes of these roaches. They're nasty. You guys want to support them? Go support them. Go support them. But I'm just letting you know, every time you get sick and tired of all the drama, remember, you supported that. You put money in that pocket. So I don't want to hear you complaining when you guys are over here and the people that you're supporting over there are coming over here and attacking you. Right? Don't support them. Don't even look under the hood. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to look at it. When they cross the line, they'll hear from me. They don't hear from me publicly. I don't need to. I'm Bullhorn Betty, right? They have to watch me for content, not the other way around. Who has all the time to make all these troll accounts? People that live in the basement of their mama's house. That's who. People that don't have anything. They literally have nothing. They don't have a home. They don't have a car. They don't have a job. They're sucking the life probably out of the government, which they try to say I do. But it's so funny because these yahoos, from what I heard, try to reach out to SSDI, Social Security Disability, to report me and my mother. First of all, my mother's retired. Secondly, I don't take government assistance and I'm not disabled. I am disabled and should be collecting disability, but I've never applied. I've never applied. Why? Because it strangles me from being able to make money. And I'm sorry, but I am a productive member of my community. Okay? There's not one thing anybody can say. They can say a whole lot about me. They can pull up a mugshot from 20 years ago. They can drag my name through the mud. But what they can't say is I don't benefit my community or the people around me. I absolutely do. I absolutely. And just because we have one old lady that's 70 years old in this town that likes to stalk me and doesn't like my political leanings, oh, wow. That's one person. We have 500,000 people in this county. And I can guarantee you, they love me. I removed the red light cameras. At least I brought it up and let George Cruz run with the ball, and we got our red light cameras removed. You know what? They were taxing the crap out of people. They were doing nothing in this county but hurting, especially families that didn't have a lot, right? They were absolutely worthless. So trust me, doesn't matter what kind of political side you're on. When somebody like me pulls that, works to get red light cameras moved and people aren't getting tickets mailed in their mailbox, they come up and shake my hand. Right? They come here and say thank you. And I'll say, oh my God, it's poor Betty, she's awful. It's like, I don't have to worry about getting a $183 ticket in my mail. Thank you, Bullhorn Betty. Right? So that's some things that the haters can never do. They can never go out. They will never, ever look for anything. They'll never, ever find anything. They'll never, ever be a benefit to their community. They will never do anything for anybody else just because it's the right thing to do. They don't understand, nor do they even have the brain cells to do that. They're literally a waste of space. I thought this. Like, oh my God, that's not getting that. Like, really? You don't even have any class. Like, literally have zero class. Zero class. So everybody that's over there and talking in their chat, I can probably say the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree. So if you're over in that chat and you're over here, I don't even know why you're over there. Right? I just don't. But I digress. Because why? Why do I digress?
Don't give a fuck.
That's why I digress. Let's do it again.
Don't give a fuck.
Oh, hold on. What?
Don't give a
Oh, okay. Just making sure. So I've been on this website. I'm looking through some of the stuff. We did have an update that came out yesterday, late yesterday. I did read it, but it was already after that. Right? Should I do it again for all the haters? And the person in the back that didn't hear, I'm not sure. Let's just see. Hold on. The person in the back, you way back there. Yeah, you Krabby Patty, you. This is how I feel about it.
Don't give a fuck.
And if you didn't understand that,
don't give a fuck.
and if you still didn't understand that,
don't give a fuck.
okay. Well, now that you know. That's for you way in the back. The one that's back there watching that you don't think we see you. Yeah, we see you. And we still don't. What? Yes. So we do have a new press conference release that came out from, Mascow Police Department. This is just for clarification of certain things. And we have a small fan. My 19-month-old son saw you on my phone and said, Betty. Oh, I love it. That is so sweet. We need to get a bullhorn in his hand. That's what we need. We need a mini bullhorn. That is too cute. Now don't be jealous. Don't be jealous, you know. If your son says Betty before he says mom, you know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did that. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. That's great. That's great. We need to get a mini bullhorn. That is too cute. That is too cute. Good morning, M&M Racing. We're just having a good old time this morning. We're just now getting started on the morning stuff and done with all the joking and stuff. Now it's time to get to the real. It sucks. I hate doing real life, right? I like having fun and joking. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to go. How would you guys feel if we turned the Bullhorn Betty channel into a knitting show? Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. I don't know how to knit. Don't worry. We'll get some lessons. Maybe we'll get some lessons. Sword of the Spirit says, so 2 girls had defensive wounds. I would imagine they would be screaming for their lives. Yet 2 roommates thought it was a party. Yeah. Yes. You know, there are some things that I don't understand with this, but that for me in a college setting where a lot of people party and a lot of people get drunk and scream to the top of their lungs, the reason why I can see this happening, I can see where the downstairs people didn't know what was really going on. I can see that. Not only that, but we don't know if the person that came in there went in there and turned the music up. They could have seriously heard the screaming, but loud music and that toned down the screams in that house, and they would have thought it was a party. I mean, if all the music in the house was off and there was not a sound in there, and you started hearing people screaming brutal murder type screams for their life, I would think that they would know the difference. But it sounds to me like there must have been something that made them think that this was a party upstairs. The law enforcement cleared them. You know, I really don't think they're the deranged people, but I find it odd. You know, we're going to go through some oddities that I find, because if you haven't seen Crime Stories Obsessed, she's been releasing a lot of good content, a lot of sleuthing type of content on her videos. And one of those things was, what was I going? I know it's Crime Stories, and we'll get to it. Let me flip to this press release, and then we'll go over to Crime Stories Assessed, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. But she's doing some good sleuthing and good information about some Google trends and names and things of that nature. So I do want to get to that. But here's the press release from the 27th, which was yesterday. And it says, Mascow, Idaho, the Mascow Police Department is providing the following information to update the public on the known facts surrounding the 4 murders that occurred on November 13th in Mascow, Idaho. Updated information. The community members have uploaded over 488 digital media submissions to the FBI leak. That's good. That's good. They're getting stuff in. That's good. What we want to hear. We understand that there's a sense of fear within our community. Since November 13th, the department has received 78 calls for unusual circumstances and 36 requests to check the welfare of loved ones, an increase from 70 and 18 respectively for all of October. As officers respond to these incidents, they find that concerned parties call friends and family before notifying the police. For life safety and emergencies, we want to remind our community to call 911 before notifying family or friends. For non-emergency assistance, you can reach out to 208-882-2677. The University of Idaho is hosting a candlelight vigil on Wednesday, November 30th, to honor the memory of Ethan, Xana, Madison, and Kaylee. And they have a link there for that. Tips. Detectives are looking for context to the events So context to the events, I think they're just, if anybody was at a party and you were taking pictures and Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, or Madison were there, send that stuff in through that FBI submission portal. Good morning for all the people that are coming in here. Don't forget to hit the like button as you're coming in. And then they further reaffirm that at this time, no suspects have been identified, and only vetted information that does not hinder the investigation will be released to the public. There is speculation without factual backing. I like how they state that, because here on our channel, we love facts. We love facts, but we speculate based upon the facts. We provide our opinions and our theories as we discuss these cases, as these cases are rolling out and moving through the process from the first call to, somebody being ultimately arrested for the crime. But we're not speculating without factual backing. So I like how they wrote this in here, because there are some creators out there that are just complete conspiracy theorists. They have no factual basis for any of the accusations that they are rolling out. And there are a lot of people that are taking their information as true. And so I like how law enforcement stated that there's speculation without factual backing, stroking community fear and spreading false facts. We encourage referencing official releases for accurate information and updated progress. I have to say that we have been doing that. We've been making sure that our population, our subscribers, our public here on the Bullhorn Betty channel has every bit of factual information right from the horse's mouth, i.e. The Mascow Police Department, and I'm not going to change that recipe. We're not going to go to conspiracy theories without any type of, factual basis. Now, is it okay to speculate even without factual basis? When we don't have any information, we're naturally going to speculate. Speculation has, produced it without being able to think for yourself. How are you going to come up with ideas on, what possible motives are without the speculation? Even without factual basis, how is anybody going to, reasonably identify somebody to investigate? So, it's not that I'm totally anti speculation. Obviously, I'm not. That's what we do here on this channel, but we don't do it absent of fact. We always try to incorporate, listen to the facts and then start speculating what could have happened based upon the facts. Not speculate and then build facts to drive our narrative and our speculation. Sometimes it's done that way. And there's nothing wrong with that when it is. But that's not what we do here. Fox News said she was found. I'm assuming that you mean by Big Smo's daughter. Yes, we were learning for that. Thank God. Thank God this did not. I mean, I was thinking of Jolissa Fuentes. Like, she drove off. She went to a store. She took a wrong turn. Then we knew she had bought a cigar, which, she used to go to the Pine Lake area to smoke. And that's where her last ping of her car or her phone was. And then we didn't have anything. Adventures with Purpose went out there. They did not find her at any bodies of water. And then 30 days later, or somewhere around there, they did find her car. She went over 2 cliffs. She was over 250 feet down from where her phone last pinged. And again, over 2 cliffs, they couldn't even see her. I don't know how they found her, but apparently they, from my understanding, they saw tracks on the dirt that went over the edge. And then they started looking, and it was 250 feet down. They had to scale over the cliff, and then there was another cliff about 200 feet down, and then they had to scale over that cliff and go another 50 feet down. And that's where they ultimately found her vehicle, and it was not good, but at least nothing nefarious had happened. We were hoping that nothing nefarious would happen, but when she wasn't found in the water and nobody knew where she was, naturally we started thinking of other things that could have happened to her. And when you went and looked in her social media profile, you could see that she was affiliated, not necessarily a part of a gang or anything like that, but definitely had a leaning toward friends that were part of the Playboy gang out there in California, and she was flashing those Playboy gang signs up, and she had the Playboy gang as a a friend on her Facebook. So it was starting to get a little more concerning. Did she telling somebody? There was somebody going into chats, and probably a troll telling people that she had lied on somebody, that she was working with law enforcement. Just started getting really crazy, but who knows? I wouldn't be relying on FBI crime scene techs to be solving this. Duty Ron has explained they are generally civilians who aren't doing this type of brutal crime scene. I have to disagree in part because they don't let anybody go to these crime scenes without major education in crime scene techniques. Now, even with all the education you can have, people make mistakes all the time at crime scenes in the collection process, whether they're tagged FBI or not. I can tell you when you have a case such as this, where this is a university, this is college students, this is something that the state receives funds for, millions and millions of dollars every year in grants and otherwise. Trust me, they are going to have the best of the best on this case. They're not going to be taking these low man on the totem poles, new, rookies, and put them out on the scene of this crime. It's not happening. There is entirely too many resources out there. So I haven't watched his, so I might agree in part with that, and I may disagree. But I have never heard of the FBI using general civilians to process a crime scene. I for whatever reason, feel like that somebody misunderstood something. I'm not saying that they don't have civilians that help in a certain capacity if they've passed a certain background check and want to be some type of civilian liaison or voluntary, some capacity, but I've never heard of that. And I doubt that the FBI would allow any civilian to be processing a crime scene. Now, again, I may be misunderstanding what you're saying, and that's okay. But I don't know if I agree with that 100% from my experience, And I've never had a law enforcement background experience type like that. Mine is legal in nature. Mine is the legal side. And what I mean by legal side, I mean like lawyer side. Like I'm paralegal, so I work under attorneys. I prepare the paperwork for the attorneys. I'm the one that reviews the discovery that comes in. I'm the one that prepares the discovery requests. So at least I did. I don't do that anymore. Obviously, I don't work in the legal job anymore. I'm very highly educated in law and have worked it for many years. So just coming in, but Smo's daughter was found safe. Thank you, Mimi. Yes, I heard. That's what they've been saying. Thank you for keeping me updated. The interview with the bartender from the club the girl was at has me suspicious of him. Just things he said in his interview made him sus to me. So McPoppins, I don't know. I haven't seen the interview with the bartender. If you've got it, by all means, please try to send that to me so I can review it. If you send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, I'll pull it up and we can, take a look at it. I have not seen it. We speculate to try to make sense of what happened for a theory. Although speculation isn't evidence or fact, it's humans having to speculate to make sense. Your brain must make sense of what happened. Absolutely, absolutely. But I did like how law enforcement did say there is speculation without factual backing. I love that. I love that. They're not coming out and saying, "I'll stop the misinformation and the speculation." No, they're saying, okay, we know people are going to be speculating. I think that they understand people are going to be speculating. So again, if you're going to be speculating, you want speculation based on accurate and known facts. And I think that's kind of the balance we have here, is that we do speculate and we do theorize, but we do it based upon factual information that has been released by law enforcement. We even speculate, you know, what they may or may not be releasing to us, right? Like we've got a lot of stuff, especially in this case, that just doesn't make sense. Who is crazy enough to slaughter 4 people? It's got to be a deranged lunatic, right? A deranged lunatic hiding in plain sight. I truly believe it. Hiding in plain sight. Thank you. Yes, the best way that you guys can help us get boots on the ground is to donate to Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. Everything that we donate, which we utilize, even the Cash Apps and super stickers and things of that nature, we utilize that, but we have to utilize that for projects for the next month. So the stuff that you guys are putting in here in super chats and super stickers today, I won't get for 30 days from now. So if you guys ever want to help us immediately with cost immediately, you can do that. You can sponsor this, our upcoming trip, or any trip thereafter by going to Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal for those donations. Many of you guys know here in the near future, Olivia and I have got a treat, a surprise. I've already let the cat out of the bag a little bit, that her and I are going to be going on a trip together. So what's that all about? Well, I can't tell you, and I can't tell you when, because we have people here that try to cause, that stalk us, that harass us, and try to do everything they can to disrupt our business. And that is the reason why we can't tell people where we're going. We should be able to, and we will be able to one day in the near future. But until that point in time, until they realize that this is becoming serious, and until they are made to leave me alone, we're going to have to deal with this. And so we can't tell you guys a whole lot of things until we're there. And then believe me, once we're there, believe me, the harassment will start, right? So we have a lot of planning that goes into this. We have, law enforcement that we have to contact, because we got to let them know, one, that we're in town, and two, we got these a-holes on YouTube that is going to blow their phones up and cause major disruptions in their lives to try to punish us. So we now have to go into law enforcement and let them know of these despicable people, because we want to make sure that they are not utilizing resources that they don't need to utilize, because some idiot in Texas wants to call the police when we're doing absolutely nothing wrong, and utilize the police department and use it as a weapon against creators on YouTube. So I'm using these words because that's exactly what it is. I'm very strategic in my words and how I'm explaining this, because when all this stuff comes down, believe me, we've already discussed yesterday what is going to be transpiring here in the near future. And we're not going to be discussing it, because at this point, everything from this point on is considered a legal matter, and I cannot discuss it on here. But believe me, this whole being harassed every single day, being harassed, not being able to go, people following everything I'm doing, people sending people to where I'm at to harass me in person, stalk me. This stuff is coming to an end, and this stuff is going to come to an end this year. I can tell you that. In the 2023, I can tell you what's going on in 2022 will never happen to Bullhorn Betty again. I can promise you that. So, and I hope that by the work I'm doing, it's helping other creators. Pink Peony says, in Jalissa Fuentes' case, I thought there was going to be a backseat passenger. No, there was no backseat passenger. She was all by herself. She was all by herself. I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing something from, I didn't see what's going on with Rick. Rick, I see somebody telling you just to call police and let them definitely recommend. I don't know what you're going through, but if it's something that's concerning you to a level of discomfort, maybe it's time for you to take some action on that. I typed your name in today, and there's YouTubers that does nothing but watch your videos and talk smack about you. I think she secretly loves you, like ladies, like lady get a life and leave. Yeah. Oh, Brenda, it really is. They are very it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. And you've watched their obsession with me grow and bolster. It's a little, I got to tell you, it's a little unnerving because these people are not right upstairs. And other creators are doxing my phone number, doxing my address, putting me in jeopardy because they don't like me. Like they're literally putting my life in jeopardy because they don't like me. I have never done that to them, ever. They may say I have, but tell them to prove it. Tell them to prove it. Idle threats is not going out and putting somebody's address on my page. I have never in my life done that to anybody, but I guarantee I can go on and pull my address off 15 or 20 other accounts, right? And they think it's funny. They think it's funny to put me in jeopardy because they don't like me. This is how deranged these people are. This is seriously how deranged these people are. They are sick in the head. I got people driving by my house and taking pictures and throwing it up on social media. Like, that's going too far. You're stalking me. I have not said anything to you, and we have watched you progressively get angrier and angrier and angrier, and now you're driving by my house, and you don't think I'm going to have action on that? You don't think you're not going to get a restraining order? Are you effing kidding me? This lady's 70 freaking years old. 70 years old. And I just want to know how that's going to look for her politician nephew to know his aunt is stalking a political rival and doxing her. You think he's ever going to have a chance in politics here in Manatee County? No. And the only person she'll have to blame is herself. I didn't know at first. It's done gradually. We all feel free. He didn't let me do anything, wanted me where he could see me. I'm walking into a little bit of cop raid. Yes. Did you guys see that? I did change the thumbnail on the other one. I love that thumbnail. Lex missed you. Don't give. I can do the recording again, Jennifer. That's too funny. That's too funny. Betty, if you ever get to Aldi's grocery store, look for the maple pecan coffee. It's too. Oh, you know what? They actually have a pecan coffee over at Winn-Dixie, one of their brands. It's freaking good. But I'll have to try that maple pecan. I don't know if it's pecan or pecan. I call it pecan. Pecan pie, pecan. But you know what? There's going to be people on here that's going to clip this and say, it's pecan, right? Because they have no life. They have no life. Get back here. I need to get back on track here. We're way in left field here. And we also went through, I don't know if you guys saw it yesterday. We went through the whole video of Kaylee and Maddie at the food truck. And, you know, everybody keeps saying Kaylee was like falling. She didn't look like she was as near as intoxicated as Maddie. She really didn't. But, you know, getting back to this whole, you know, who done it with this whole case, and people are speculating, you know, from serial killer to this. I think this is a very disturbed person. And what would make a person disturbed? I don't know. We're finding out through the grapevine. Let me see if I can find that. I did put this up. Maybe we'll just listen to it. Give me just a second. I've got it over here in my library. Idaho 4. There we go. Yeah, I think it's this one here. Let's just listen.
So again, we want to provide as much information as possible, and I think we've been very consistent, and we have said that we do not have a suspect and we do not have a person of interest at this time. We are building, again, as you mentioned before, building a profile, we're building a picture.
And it's a little crazy because, like Plunder said, I think this guy, which is the I don't know, the media relations guy, and this news reporter asked him a question, and he kind of laughed in his face. I think he thought it was a joke at first. I think it just caught him off guard. I don't know, but it really wasn't a good look.
We're trying to put all the pieces together, and when the time comes, we will most definitely put that information out.
Investigators remain tight with Idaho students were brutally stabbed to death inside their home. Former FBI investigator Bill Daly joins us now. Good morning, Bill.
Yeah. I want you guys to hear this.
There's been a lot of pressure put on this idea of targeted, what that means and how they might know it.
I thought this was interesting because they are kind of analyzing this case. And I think their analysis may very well be very beneficial to, what we're talking about.
What do you think it is that they believe someone was targeted and why they're not telling us how they know that?
Well, first of all, you have to realize there is the killer loose out there. Yeah. So the more information they provide, which by the way, I think they've handled it very well at this point, is that
I have to agree, and I've said that from the beginning. I think law enforcement has been handling this very well. I agree with that, and I've said that multiple times on this channel that they're doing everything. This is the most that we've ever had people clear. They've been keeping us. They've been very transparent with as much information as they can. And they have so many people in and around these girls being in a college town and going to the university there that it literally, they have a lot of people that they've got to go through and interview. It's somebody that they know. It's somebody that they know, guys. I don't know if this is some strange serial killer that travels the state to do this. I'm not getting that vibe. I know many people do. I want to make sure everybody knows that we respect your choices. We respect your opinions. We respect all of that when it comes to how you process. So just because I have the opinion that this is not a serial killer does not mean that you guys have to parrot or mimic that at all. I am team they knew somebody. Dolly is team serial killer. So, there's just differences in how things are. I'm not sure how Olivia feels about this or what her mind processes and how she's doing it. I haven't had those conversations with her. Outside of the videos I'm seeing for JLR, I haven't even really talked to him about what his opinion is and who he thinks it is. For me, it's Jake. I'm still stuck on Jake, and I'm not getting off of that yet until he's cleared. I don't understand why everybody else is cleared, but Jake hasn't been cleared. So we're all team foul play, Lex. There's no doubt about that. And we're team foul play, no doubt, with this case. But is it somebody that they knew? Is it a lover, or is it a jilted lover? Is it a jealous friend or classmate, or is this a serial killer? I'm getting down we went from several different theories, and I'm starting to dwindle down on those theories. And things aren't out of the woodworks yet for me. I'm still, could this be a serial killer? Yeah, it could be. So it's still on my list. It's still, one of the contenders on my list, but it's not my number one option. My number one is that this is a jilted lover or classmate. I just believe it's that personal. I really do. I believe it's just that personal. Now, I don't know to the extent of what it is, because I don't know who these people are, who they hung out with, what people know on the ground. I don't know that. I'd like to know it, but I don't know it.
That when they need the public's help, they'll reach out. But in the meantime, don't need to either get people's concerns further out there in the community, or signal something to a killer. But I think,
or signal something to a killer. That's why they're keeping this stuff tight-lipped, folks. This is what they're talking about keeping the integrity of the investigation. I truly believe that.
Some of the things surrounding, this horrendous incident, the fact that there were two people who were sleeping downstairs who were unharmed. And it does seem to be something that someone would have either had to know the inside of the home, know their routine. Again, another person that, you got to remember that it would be somebody that would know their routine. You're not having a serial killer know their routine unless they are following them, stalking them, watching them, everything. And you would think that if that was the case, they have been looking into the whole stalking allegation that Kaylee had mentioned. They haven't found anything that's paid her yet. So what if it's not somebody stalking, an ex-employee, someone jealous of the girls? Yep. Jealous of the girls, feeling abandoned, ex. Yes. And think about it. These girls were getting new jobs. They may have been, and we talked about, the American Pie theory, the rump roast versus the filet mignon. These guys, they may not have had an opportunity to score another girl like this. If one of their girlfriends were about to get a job halfway across country, it's just a theory. We don't know. We don't know anything about their jobs or what their aspirations are because we don't know them. The closest we know about them is that Kaylee followed Olivia. Chronicles of Olivia. She knows who we are. She's watched our work. And now she's one of our cases. I heard when the two surviving roommates called friends rather than 911, the friends began passing out from the scene and the neighbors saw them passing out in the driveway and called 911. Yeah, that's what I heard. Well, we don't know the truth. And people keep saying about this unconscious person. What we heard from law enforcement is that, one, they did not release the 911 call. And anybody that speculates about the 911 call or who called is incorrect because they have not released that information. That's first and foremost. The second thing that we learned from law enforcement is that dispatch talked to multiple people on the phone, not just one person. So even though the law enforcement has released to us that the 911 call was for an unconscious person, we don't know if that is 100% accurate or not because we haven't been released the 911 call. We don't know what the other people that spoke to dispatch stated. So it could have very well been that even though they're telling us there was an unconscious person call, there may have been 5 gruesome murder calls that they're not letting us know, or people telling them. We don't know. We only know what they've released to us. When I found out multiple people talked to dispatch, I knew that they had to have known going into that house that there was a bloodbath. Especially with multiple people speaking to dispatch. And if we were to believe that people are passing out, which I have to imagine the scene like that, that had to have been awful. That had to have been awful to see and witness. And God bless those kids. And I hope they're getting the help that they need. And I mean that genuinely, like something like that can screw with somebody the rest of their life. Some people will never shake what they see, period. So, I think that's about it. So let's just keep going back. I went through some of the stuff. There are some things around this that don't ring true, at least in my mind, as to be some kind of random kind of break-in in the middle of the night and just happened upon these individuals. If it was someone on a rampage who was a mass murder rampage, you would have thought they would have also gone downstairs and harmed the other people. So there are a couple of things that start to suggest that there was some.
So that makes sense. Let's listen to that again.
Someone on a rampage who was a mass murder rampage, you would have thought they would have also gone downstairs and harmed the other people.
See, you would, and I have to agree with that. You would have, if it was just some normal run of the mill, they would have taken everybody out. They wouldn't have been very selective. And the reason why, again, that I say for those people that are just tuning into the show, again, the reason why I say that I believe one of the girls were the target, either Maddie or Kaylee, is because they If Xana and Ethan were the target, they would have stopped there. There would have been no need to go up to the 3rd floor. There was a reason why they killed Ethan and Xana and then went up to the 3rd floor. I definitely believe, and we found out through Xana's family, that Xana had defensive wounds on her. So she was fighting for her life. And that almost implies for me that the first person attacked in that home to be disabled was Ethan. I don't have facts to support that. That is purely my speculation, that Ethan was the first to go. The person would have had to disable the person that could have disabled them first. So he had to have been taken out first. If he jumped on Xana and started with her, Ethan would have taken that person out. Ethan was a big guy. He was a strong guy. He was an athletic guy. It is my opinion that Ethan would have been first. And also Crime Stories Obsessed talks about, cross DNA, and how that works is how they can determine who was killed first, who was assaulted first, and who was assaulted last, because the first person that was injured would have only had their DNA. There would be no cross DNA. The second person would have the first person as well as theirs, obviously having a cross DNA with another subject. The third person would have the cross DNA between the first and the second person, and the fourth person would have the cross DNA from the first, second, and third person. So they can actually tell just by DNA, biological and forensic evidence, what order these students were attacked in. And I think what we're going to end up finding out is that Ethan was first, Xana was second, and I'm curious with the girls. I have a funny feeling Maddie, again, was the target. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I do have the feeling that it was Maddie. And if it was Maddie, I believe it was her boyfriend, Jake, or somebody that she was romantically involved in. If it was Kaylee, I think it had something more to do with a jilted roommate. But we also, as we were talking about this, realized something very, very interesting. And that is, Ethan and Kaylee weren't supposed to be there. Ethan and Kaylee were not supposed to be there. Kaylee was at home. She only came there that day to show off her new Range Rover to Maddie and hang out with Maddie. That was the only person that was the only reason why Kaylee was there. So now it comes down to the targets being Xana and Maddie. Those were the only two that lived in the home at the time that were actual residents there. So that eliminates, I don't think it was Xana, because again, if Xana was the target, they would have stopped on the second floor and left. They hit their target. It's time to go. They didn't. Nobody knew Kaylee was with Maddie except probably a few of their friends. So again, Ethan wasn't supposed to be there. Kaylee wasn't supposed to be there. The only people that were supposed to be there were the two bottom roommates, Xana and Maddie. 4 people in that home. And now 2 of them are gone. So again, it's kind of starting to hone in on Maddie being the target. It really is. Yeah. And so now we have to look at Maddie's workings, who she was in and around. And she was in and around, her friends. So who would have been jealous enough, rage enough to want to take her out? If I can't have you, nobody can. I just don't, could this be a stalker, somebody that watched her afar and, just chose right before Thanksgiving to take her out? Possibly. Could she have been fooling around with another guy on campus since Jake is graduated and back home? It's possible. Could that other guy, not Jake, be the one that got his feet? It's possible. Who's the other guy, right? These are college kids. There may be, you know, a couple different fellers in their wake. You know, we don't know. So the 2 roommates on the top floor were home and didn't hear anything. No. So the 2 roommates that were surviving, let me just give you, hold on a second. Give me just a second. I thought it was on this one. Did I not have it on this one? I could have sworn I had it on this one. Give me just a second, guys. I need to, okay. All right, here it is. Hold on a second. Let me move these out of here. I got it right here. Sorry, guys. I pull these out. Okay, now we'll move this over. All right. All right, so here's what we have here. Let me just show you this. Let's just see here. So here is the property right here. Let me expand that. So here's the property right here. So this is level 1, this is level 2, and this is level 3. The 2 roommates that survived were residing in this room respectively and this room over here respectively. So they were actually on the very first bottom floor. Xana and Ethan were on this floor. This floor also has the living areas. So it has the living room and the kitchen on this floor. This is the main floor. This is where Ethan and Xana were killed. This floor up here is where Kaylee and Maddie were brutally murdered. So it was the people on this first floor, this first level, that were unharmed. The people on this level and this level were murdered. So hopefully that explains it a little bit for you of where everybody is. I've actually had a diagram of exactly who was in what room and everything like that. I've got to find it. I don't have it with me at the moment, but somebody did send it to me. I just don't have it here. And this is kind of like the idea. Right here is where I was talking about. We saw law enforcement out here in the woods looking. They actually expanded. This is their parking lot. This is the drive. And then there's like this driveway that comes up this way. So let me show you this right here. There's the driveway right there. And so this driveway comes all the way back, and this is a parking lot right here. And somebody could have easily parked right here or right over here, or even in a number of these parking spots over here, and literally camped out right here and could be watching every move these girls made and anybody that came in. This would be where I would think that they would go. The opportunity for the assailant would be coming up this road here and most likely going in the back where they were undetected. Because we did see at the front on some of the photos of this house that there is a light that's right here, and it appears that there was some sort of camera in that light. So I'm not sure if somebody entered into this door, and this is the door that has the combination lock on it. I personally think that they would have went this way and hid over here and parked over here, because this would have been an easier getaway. And I believe that they would have went into the backside of this house more undetected than trying to come in through the front of this house. That's just my opinion. There's no facts, to support my claim. This is just, again, just my opinion on what I think would have most likely happened and how the assailant would have acquired access to the property and how the person was able to access the property undetected. That's just my opinion. I did see Chris McDonough. Chris McDonough is out there, and he gave us some visuals of the property on the backside. He stayed on the outside of that crime scene line. I'm actually surprised that they still have crime scene tape still up. Every crime scene that I've ever been to, they do their work and get in and out and pull that stuff down. The crime scene tape is still up in this house. That means every time that they have a question, they're most likely going back to that house to see if they can find anything related to that. I bet you they've made multiple trips. Law enforcement has made multiple trips to that house to look for evidence as questions or stuff come up. They've done 3D scans of this property, which is really, really good. I'm interested in seeing those in the near future. And I'm interested in finding out their theories of who could have done this. And I want to know, I've reached out to law enforcement about Jake Schreiger to see if they've cleared him. I've gotten crickets from the Mascow Police Department, literally crickets. They haven't even responded to say they can't respond. Crickets. Okay, so that was a thing for them. That was, part of what they did, part of their routine, so to speak. And I just wanted a big shout out to Vicky for becoming the newest Coffee Club member. She's been around for a little while. And how do we know the prep wasn't already in the house? The perp wasn't already in the house waiting for the girls to come home. We might be looking for somebody breaking in when the perp was already in the house waiting. I don't think the perp was in the house waiting. I think if the brutality of this and the sleep, it just makes me feel like this person laid in wait. I don't know if this person was in the house, but it is possible. Listen, Crime Stories Obsessed did the whole Google Trends thing, and we found out the bottom girls downstairs had a lot of searches for them just a couple days before this murder happened. And was that somebody doing because they weren't looking really into the other people, the actual victims. It was the surviving victims that were Googled the most times. Was somebody doing their research on who was in the house, maybe didn't know these people and wanted to familiarize themselves with the two surviving roommates? Was somebody doing due diligence on finding out who they wanted? I don't know. It was a little creepy. I never thought about the Google Trends. That's interesting to see. But what was more interesting is I would have thought that the information would have been opposite. Like the one that was targeted would have had the most hits, searches prior to the murder, as opposed to the roommates that survived. It was just it was weird to me. It really was, and I didn't quite understand it. Let me see if I can pull this up. Crime Stories. She did an update, girlfriend party. Hold on. Maybe it was videos. Hold on. So I believe it was this one right here, Life of the Party. Maybe not. Motives, theories. Oh, here it is. Google searches right here. It's this one right here. The motives, theories, Google searches, and more right here. This is the one where Crime Stories Obsessed goes through the Google Trends and what was in there, and it was very telling. So I would recommend you guys going over there to Crime Stories Obsessed and checking that whole thing out on her end. But it was pretty revealing, but even though it was revealing, I'm just like still scratching my head saying, this seems like it should be the opposite. It should be the opposite. I wonder if that's a clue. I really do. I wonder if it's a clue. I don't know whether it's a clue or not. I have no earthly idea. None. Okay. I think that's about it. I don't really have a whole lot going on today. We have the press conference. We've got the city. Let me see if there's anything on their Facebook page. But usually their Facebook page mimics the press conference stuff that I have. Now they only have the tip. And I just want a big shout out. I mean, here's some of the police are going out there and and handing out Thanksgiving stuff too. That's cute. We recognize the impact of murders had. And here's some stuff like they're in here. You know, they're these are all the people that are in there learning about what's going on. These are probably all the detectives. I don't know if this is the it's a briefing of some sort, and I don't know who is being briefed on that. But we do have a few things that have come out, but nothing too major. Here's the press conferences. We really haven't had a press conference in a little minute. I'm not seeing, even on the most updated press release, I'm not seeing anything for an upcoming press conference. We do see that they are going to be doing a vigil for the girls' memorial, for the victims rather, on November 30th. And they have the area in which they're doing it. The University of Idaho will be sponsoring it and holding that. So unless you have 5-inch screws in your door frame, a 12-year-old can kick any door down regardless of how many deadbolts lock it. Yeah. They also make some things that make it harder, like putting the metal on the actual door frame and the metal on the actual door. It does give it some protection and security. But if people want in, they can get in. But you're talking about this being a college type of dorm. We're going to call it a college dorm. It's an off-campus dorm. That's what it was. You know, it's a little party house. Kids that didn't want to live on campus and want to have more freedoms off campus went here. Even though this was known as somewhat of a party house, they stopped partying around 10 o'clock. It seemed like they were more responsible in all appearances, but who knows? I just feel like this is a jealousy that just went nuts. And we see when it comes to matters of the heart, it causes people to do some really, really crazy stuff. That and drugs and alcohol. Those are the ones that really cause people to do some really, really ugly stuff. Anyways, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and open up this panel up. If you guys would prefer phones, I'll open up the phones. I just don't like dealing with the trolls. It's too damn early for me, to be honest with you. I just don't feel like dealing with them. That's why haven't been opening the phones. I have a little more control over who comes into StreamYard as opposed to who calls on the phone. So we're just doing this. And you know, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to do this. I should not have to worry about these kind of disruptions to this channel. But I do. And it will continue to happen. So we're just going to have to, you know, find ways until we can get where we need to go. We got to find ways to work around it until this stuff is put to a stop. So Nancy Grace did a podcast on Idaho 4 on crime stories with other professionals. Nice. I wish I could play it on here, but they can't. Sparkly Bubbles says, then they would risk waking others. Our neighbors bring more people in per wouldn't want that. I'm not quite sure. I'm coming into a few different conversations. Mystic Fly says, I wonder where the white hoodie guy is living now. Remember, he was evicted from the frat house, then booted out of the bar the night of the murders. Where is he now? I don't know if he was booted out of the bar the night of the murders. I'm interested in that. There's so much information, and I don't know what is real and what is, misinformation. Woman, drugs, money. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there. And I mean, I don't want to, keep running, or stating that the serial, one, I don't really believe it's a serial killer, but two, for the respect of, people are fearful in this area. They're very fearful in this area. And I don't want to escalate that fear, especially if it's something like an ex-boyfriend going completely crazy, because his girlfriend's out, she's moving, she's going to be getting a new job, she's going to be moving halfway across the country. We don't know. But something is, Mary, I can't see you. You're going to have to, I don't think anything is on right now. You're going to have to accept your camera and accept your microphone. On sliding glass doors, hold on 1 second. Lori says, on sliding glass doors years ago, we put a baseball bat in the slider track
Now you can buy a foot lock. Yeah, I know. I used to have, my dad was, he did a lot of construction. So his thing was either wood that he cut down to size or rebar. He put rebar in the bottom, and it just fit right into the well, and you ain't getting through rebar. Ooh, I gotta sneeze. My allergies. Excuse me, guys. I've been sneezing on you guys a lot lately. Maybe it's the dusty office. Olivia, you need to come over and help me build the studio. I don't know what I'm going to do with these big old, like I have a huge bookshelf in here. I mean, this is just a little, like this will be easy to get rid of right here. There's stuff in there, supplies, but nothing major. But my big old, that's the one I'm worried about. Anyways. Smash the like button. It's a college town. 10 of people will be at the vigil. Suspect may be there too. Yes, I agree with that. I think that this person is really close to these people, and they have to keep up appearances, right? You have to keep up appearances. Now, does that mean, and they may now be getting so nervous that they're going to be like, it's too hard for me to go. I was so close to this person. It's too hard for me to go. People need to be paying attention to who's attending and who's not, who should be there and who's not supposed to be there. That's going to be the things that we need to be discussing. They are definitely watching. Yeah, they'll be watching. I believe that even if they're not there in person, they're definitely watching. This is somebody that's taken a personal interest in this case. This is somebody that most likely has a Rambo-style knife. That has brandished that knife, not brandished it in a way of violence, but been very proud of this knife. Wanted to show it off. Has anybody in the community seen somebody playing with a Rambo-style knife? Could it be somebody that's associated with the ROTC program? And was somebody that was with the ROTC program related to, knew, hung out with Kaylee or Maddie? I know it's creepy. It gives you creepy vibes. Gives you major creepy vibes. We had a pipe on sliding glass door. I actually, I had one, but they're like the sliding glass doors, whether they're locked or not. Anybody that has repaired a sliding glass door before, many of you guys know I've owned a handyman business with my ex-husband. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter whether that door is locked or not. If you want to get through a sliding glass door, if you know what you're doing, you can get through a sliding glass door whether that door is locked or not, without breaking, literally without breaking. You don't have to break the door to get in. It's a little scary. Once you realize how easy it is to break into a sliding glass door, you will find a way. Now, I got to see your face, Liz. Somebody's having some problems. I can tell you guys right now, trolls are not getting in. If you're a troll, don't bother. That's the whole purpose of me doing this whole video thing and the stuff. I hope the rumors, there is a photo masked person going to the house shown around by police is true. Yeah, but why would they be showing a person with a mask on? Like, just randomly through? I don't know. It doesn't sound right. This case has taught me never to put in a slider door. We don't know if that's where they went. Okay, Angel, I'm gonna bring you up if you want to go ahead. Hold on just a second. Hey, Angel.
Good morning, Betty. How are you?
I am doing well. What are your thoughts on this entire mess?
It's crazy. It's definitely creepy and scary, and I really feel for that community. It can't feel safe, at night having somebody who just committed this heinous murder, well, 4 of them, roaming the streets. And I feel like the police, I feel that they are doing a good job, but it also feels like they're not giving us all the information.
Yeah, no, I definitely know they're not giving us all the information. They're too tight-lipped, and it's like the questions that are being asked of them, you can see that they're bouncing. Like in the last press conference, the 23rd, there was a couple questions that were asked to the police chief,
And you could see he was bouncing it around his head, and he's like, no, I can't talk about that due to the integrity of this case and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, by him having that pause, it's like he knew what the answer was to the question.
Right. And I understand and respect that they are trying to keep it tight-lipped, probably so that they don't put any hints out for the person who did this, who may still be in that community.
Right.
But it's just awful. And I wanted to
What
say,
type of person do you think would do this? Do you think that this, for you, in your mindset, do you think that this is somebody that was just a stalker or a serial killer, or do you think this was an ex-boyfriend or ex-classmate?
well, because of the nature of it and the multiple stabbings and just how much, blood that we saw seeping out of the house and all of that, I do feel that it's a crime of passion. It's somebody who's close, that they knew closely, or one of them knew close. And I think that possibly the others were just collateral damage. I don't get serial killer vibes, but it's hard because I keep going back and forth with it, because for murder, somebody did that and was able to get away. It makes me feel like it wasn't the first time they killed, so I'm kind of on the fence. I keep going back and forth and listening to you and hearing more information and, reading some of those press conferences. Oh, there's a little Bullhorn Betty fan.
Background.
Say hi, Betty. That's Betty. Say hi, Betty.
Aw, look at that cute little face. Aw.
Yeah, he was. He always listens to the intro, and then I put my earbud in, obviously due to the nature of most of the conversations that we have.
Yeah. What a cute little boy.
But yeah, we love you, and I just wanted to tune in. I've tried to get on StreamYard a few times, but usually it's like when I'm getting out of work.
I see him pop in and pop out, and that always usually is indicative of a troll.
Oh,
One of our regulars in here was like, I'm not a troll.
Yeah, no, and my name is Jara Family Vibes on YouTube, which is like the initials of my kids and family, because I had wanted to create a YouTube channel a while ago. But after seeing all the crazy stuff that you go through, I'm like, no, that's okay.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
But keep doing what you're doing. We love you, and I'll be back in chat. Have a great day.
You too. God bless.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was really sweet. So, Christine, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you a troll, but I wasn't saying it to you. Anybody that's here that comes to the chat that's not, trying to troll or gaslight or, get a reaction is fine. I just want to let people know that the reason why I'm doing the whole thing is because every time a troll comes up here and does something stupid on here, I can ban them so they can't come back here. I can't do that on Google. Actually, I probably could do that on Google. Maybe I should start blocking people on the Google phone. Keep them from coming in because they can only make so many phone numbers. I mean, seriously, that's a commodity. Try to get a phone number on internet these days. It's like pulling teeth. So maybe that is what I'll do. I don't understand how the roommates didn't see blood and just threw. I think there's more to that. That's what and we just kind of went over that just a little bit. Maybe you weren't here for it, but I think law enforcement is only letting us know what they want to, because we did hear multiple people talk to dispatch. I doubt all the people that talked to dispatch said, oh yeah, there's just an unconscious person here. I'm pretty sure before law enforcement went in that house, they knew that it was going to be a gruesome scene. We did hear that multiple people talked to dispatch. It wasn't just one. I think the only thing that they've released was the fact that somebody called in an unconscious person as well. I don't think that was the main call into their law enforcement. They're not releasing the 911 call or calls, plural. They're only releasing one of the many, from what even law enforcement said, multiple people spoke to dispatch. So they're only releasing a scintilla of information only on one call or related to one incident that was going on at that time. But I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a lot more related to that call that we don't know about. And I'm pretty sure we're going to find out later that they knew that there was a bloodbath inside that home prior to the law enforcement getting there. So I know people are even me, I was stuck on the call. Like, how can we have an unconscious person? Many of you guys that have been following me since this case broke. That was one of the biggest things I had related to it. And then they finally put out the press release to kind of state, oh, wait a minute, there's multiple people that called. I think they realized that that information was causing a huge problem with people because we didn't understand it, right? We just didn't understand it. So it was causing a huge problem. Like, how did it happen? But now we know there was multiple people that spoke to dispatch, that the person that called, even though it was on the, it was a call that came from inside that home. One of those calls may have been for an unconscious person, but many of those calls, I'm pretty sure, were for the site that was upstairs. I can't imagine what it looked like. They said that these people said that they were attacked in their sleep. It doesn't mean that that's where their demise was had. They could have been up. We could have people here. I mean, you don't know. People running. We don't know. We don't know what was in that house. We're all assuming that they were asleep and they're in the bed. That may not be the case. We may have a person on the floor by the window over here and a person hanging out the bedroom door over here, right? Because they're fighting. They're fighting. It sounds like Ethan and Xana gave this person a run for their money before they went upstairs. Again, more of a reason that I think the target was upstairs. If Kaylee wasn't supposed to be there that night and nobody knew she was there until she got there, the person that was a target is Maddie. 2 of the 4 people that were attacked weren't even supposed to be there, were not known to anybody to be staying there that night. Don't they have to keep some stuff to themselves for the integrity of the case? Yes. We all know that that's to be true. Betty, did you see the creepy photo of the guy that was hugging Maddie at the grub truck? She looked very uncomfortable. Actually, I watched it. She did not look, a certain picture frame looked like she was uncomfortable. I watched that in its entirety, and no, it did not look like she was uncomfortable at all. Let me go back over to that side. We'll just pull it up and I'll show you the video in its entirety so you can see what happened. Here it is. No, that's not it. It's this one here. So this is the frame you're going to be wanting to look at there. Okay. Give me just a second. Okay, so they're at the window now ordering the food. There it is. Okay. So now you're gonna watch her. She is, look at his face. He's like, hey, right there. Hey, and she's like, oh, hey, let me come over. Okay, if you can't see it, I wish I could make this bigger for you. Let me take this off so you guys can see a little bit better. Come on here. There we go. So she's like, hey, she was over here standing, and this guy's got a big old smile on his face. Big old smile, right? And she's walking over to him.
Oh, yeah.
Watch. Watch her. This is where you're going to be watching down here, guys. So watch this down here.
What you want to do is...
See? Going up there with open arms.
Actually, do this.
And so right here is where they think they start seeing her, and they took a clip of it almost looking like she's uncomfortable right there. And it's not. It wasn't like that at all. She's not uncomfortable at all. If you go back here to when they got to the thing, he's looking. There they are right over here. He's waiting for his food. They're up at the thing. He's over here. She's hugging him. He's got a face on him like, hey, do you see me? This is one of her friends. They had a big smile on his face. So, yeah, I see it, but it's not what people, in my opinion, are making it out to be. We do have the whole entire clip here of them getting to that truck and everything that happened before and after. I've got the whole entire 4.5 hour Twitch link on here. So no, I don't think he had anything to do with it. And I'm looking at his face and his nose and everything. This, you know, from a certain angle, he looked like the guy that's in that photo that Crime Stories Obsessed put up. But now that I'm getting a bigger and clearer visual of his face, the other guy had a flatter nose. This guy does not. So it may not be associated and it may not be the same person. But either way, we do have that. Okay, and it says, yeah, then another girl come up to Jersey guy and scolds him and kisses him and walks away. Yeah, I don't know. I heard that this gentleman here, and I could be wrong, but this gentleman right here, this heavier set dude here, I heard that he actually gave an interview about the guy with the hoodie and basically, I could be wrong about who actually did the whole hoodie thing. Yeah, you're welcome, Mama Llama. I heard that, you know, people were concerned. I actually, you know, based upon what I was seeing, was equally concerned about that guy too, and why I wanted to go see this entire Twitch clip in its entirety. I wanted to see the what had transpired here before, during, and after these girls to help, you know, possibly spark a, you know, something. And trying to identify anybody that could have been following, looking, lurking. And I'm not seeing that here. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing somebody following them from the club. I'm not seeing somebody, you know, taking a weird interest from afar in these videos. Granted, we don't have everything, but I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing this stalker, an anonymous person watching them and following them. I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. So that's Simon Nigel's, Betty. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Caroline. I appreciate that. Where's my... Okay. Sorry, guys. Let me write this note. Yeah, I take some notes when we're in here, you know, especially when you're identifying people and stuff like that. Guys, I'm going to put on some music just real quick. I want you guys to sit tight just for a minute. I've got to grab something and then I'll be right back. So please stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We will be back. We'll be back. I'm going to play this whole entire song. It's like a 2.5 minute song. I'm going to go ahead and play it so I don't have to cut it off in the middle of it, but I will cut it off when it's done.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look.
Okay, I lied. I couldn't wait that long. I couldn't wait that long. Sorry, guys. Thank you for giving me the much needed break that I needed. I had to use the restroom. So thank you for giving me my much needed break. It's hard with as much coffee as I drank and being up as early as I am. It has been it's been difficult keeping my putter going. I got to tell you. So what I'm going to do now is I've already opened the panel up. Not a whole lot of people are coming up. I'm not going to open up the phone lines just yet. I've got to have another program put on my computer, and then we'll be going back to the phones again. And then we'll start that back up. But for right now, guys, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I know that there is probably not going to be a whole lot of people coming on this soon. I've got some exciting news coming up for you guys. I will not be back live here until later this evening. And later this evening, I will be going live. And we'll be discussing a case that means a lot to a lot of people out there in the ether. So you're going to want to stay tuned for this evening's segment. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be empowering. And I hope you guys are here. If not, then I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning for the coffee club. Absolutely smash that like button, guys. Remember, we are having upcoming trips. We're going to need the channel's support for these upcoming trips. Flying around this country, flying to Mexico, flying to these places. It's expensive. It's expensive. So we'll be seeing you soon. And with that, guys, don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Good day, and God bless. Medic Monday!
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.